The drama's heating up as Chrisean emerged from shadows, ready to unleash chaos. But this time her target? None other than Miss Young Miami herself. Recent bombshells suggest that Young Miami was allegedly plotting to rope Chrisean into Diddy's inner circle as an employee. Remember when Diddy and Miami were showering Chrisean with affection? Well, it turns out it was all part of their twisted scheme. Chrisean seething with rage, wild as she may be, she's not about that lifestyle. She's vowed to confront Young Miami head on, ready to throw down at the slightest provocation. And let me tell you, Chrisean isn't afraid to get her hands dirty. Young Miami better watch her back because Chrisean means business. Was Miami really trying to lure Chrisean into a scandalous setup, thinking it would be all fun and games? Stay tuned, cause this feud is just getting started.
Don't ever play with that girl ever again. Talking about me, like, don't ever play with her, like.
Miss Young Miami clearly didn't get the memo that messing with Chrisean is a recipe for disaster. Chrisean just threw down the gauntlet, daring Miami to step up, and let's just say, if she does, it's gonna be a showdown like no other. Young Miami may talk a big game, but when it comes to facing off against Chrisean, she is a way out of her league. We've seen Chrisean take on just about anyone and everyone, from her baby daddy Blueface to giving birth on Instagram Live. She's been through it all. Now, why is Chrisean allegedly threatening to throw down with Miami? Well, word on the street is that Chrisean put two and two together and realized that Young Miami was trying to pimp her out to Diddy. And let me tell you, Chrisean doesn't take kindly to being used as a pawn in someone else's game. Despite all the chaos she's been through, Chrisean has a solid fanbase that's gotten her into some high-profile rooms in the industry. We've seen her rubbing shoulders with the likes of Drake, Tamir Braxton, Lil Baby, and yes, even Diddy. But here is where it gets interesting. There has been some strange vibes between Chrisean and Diddy, with an awkward interaction that looked a lot like he was trying to plant one on her. And while Chrisean may have been enjoying herself at the event, dancing up a storm with Young Miami, it's clear that something's not quite right in this twisted tale of fame and power. Well, let me tell you, Chrisean is known for her wild party lifestyle, so it's no surprise she was turning up at Diddy's legendary Hollywood bashes. I mean, Diddy's parties were the stuff of legend, orgies, booze, and maybe a bit of scandalous activity here and there. But little did we know things were about to take a dark turn with those lawsuits filed by Cassie, Lil Rod, and those other women. Cassie spilled the tea, exposing Diddy for hosting these freaky parties where he'd make her hire male ex-workers to get down and dirty while he watched. But it was Lil Rod's lawsuit that really opened Pandora's box. He dished the dirt on Diddy's parties, claiming they were filled with underage girls and alleging that Diddy drugged and assaulted women, with Miami supposedly aiding and abetting. And guess who was at one of these parties? None other than Young Miami herself, according to Lil Rod. He claimed she stood by while her cousin tried to assault someone and did nothing about it. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Lil Rod went on to expose Young Miami's alleged drug habit, even claiming she did coke with Diddy. He accused her of transporting drugs and being paid by Diddy in exchange for her services. And get this, he accused her of being a recruiter, allegedly pimping out the other women to Diddy. Now, while this might sound shocking, it's not the first time suspicions have been raised about Diddy's dealings. Remember Gina Hun? Yeah, she spilled some serious tea about Diddy's freaky side. If I wanted you to eat my pee, Diddy would have had you on your knees. You a eater. Gina, you've been down bad ever since I came into the picture. You've been crying for a baby for 10 years. You've been around as a bee that eat P&D when he feel like it. You a eater. You're the same bee that was crying on Tasha K cause you wanted a baby. Poor Sushi. Hold on to your heads because this saga just took a jaw-dropping turn. While the idea of Young Miami working as a recruiter for Diddy might not seem too far-fetched, what's truly mind-blowing is the latest bombshell. Reports are now surfacing alleging that Chrisean was one of the women she tried to recruit. And guess who spilled the tea first? None other than Blueface's mama, Carlissa.
Chrisean was trying to recruit Rock. Remember that when they was heavily trying to get Rock to hang out with them? I think they was trying to recruit her. She got a lot going on. We're going to talk about it on this podcast. And we're going to get to the nitty gritty of all the gritty of the nitty. Because it's necessary. I think them was trying to recruit her. Because remember they just had her pulling up to everything.
Something about you love her.
Yeah, remember? See what I'm saying? We gonna, this podcast gonna be, because y'all know the mama know everything and everybody business. So we gonna find out on this podcast. We ain't gonna talk no shit about nobody. We ain't gonna mock nobody, but we definitely gonna explore the possibilities that was going on. Because they kept calling her, remember, pull up to the birthday party. Come over here and dance on Chrisean. Remember that? I feel like they was trying to recruit that baby.
At first, we brushed off Carlissa's claims as just another grab for attention. But as fans started piecing things together, it became clear there might be some truth to it. Remember when Diddy was all cozy with Chrisean, inviting her to his events and showering her with attention? Chrisean herself spilled the beans, revealing that Diddy's closeness to her actually drove Blueface to kick her out of his house. She didn't hold back, even tweeting about all the other artists Blueface got jealous over, including heavyweights like Drake and Diddy. But hold on to your heads, because the plot thickens. In a revealing video, Chrisean opens up about her clash with Lemuel Plummer, the bigwig behind Betty's and Zeus Network. She claims he stiffed her on what she was owed. And guess who came to her defense? None other than Diddy himself, allegedly issuing a not so subtle threat when he got wind of the situation at one of his parties.
Like, don't ever play with that girl ever again. Talking about me, like, don't ever play with her, like, know you'll play with their budget, play with talent. Like, y'all playing with me, man. Like, I will never forget that motherfucking day, bro. So, I set a price. I said 200,000. You said 100. I said 150. I'm not going underneath that.
While it may have seemed like a kind gesture for Diddy to speak up for Chrisean and help her negotiate better, it turns out his intentions might not have been entirely pure. According to Chrisean, she now feels like Diddy was taking his sweet time with her, ensuring she felt safe and comfortable around him before making his move. An insider close to Chrisean revealed that now that the truth is out, Chrisean is connecting the dots herself, realizing that young Miami was trying to play her. Initially, Chrisean had her reservations when Miami started being over-friendly, but she brushed it off as Miami showing her love. Now, Chrisean is furious and ready to confront Miami whenever she sees her. The streets are buzzing with gossip about the situation, with comments pouring in expressing disbelief that Diddy would shower Chrisean with flowers only to potentially exploit her. Some speculate that Diddy and Miami were trying to recruit Chrisean for their own gain, likening it to Stockholm Syndrome. The idea of Chrisean and Diddy trying to recruit Chrisean doesn't sound too far-fetched to some. But what do you think? Is it on site with Chrisean, or are young Miami and Diddy just being friendly? Share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to check out our next video for more juicy updates.